did nothing to change it.
Yeah, they clean coal. What is clean coal? That's bullshit is what it is. Plain and simple. The electric cars. That's bullshit too. It really is.
Yeah.
It's all still contributing to, in a big way, not just.
We'll never fully convert over to electric cars.
What's that?
We'll never fully convert over to electric vehicles. Like, at least not in our time anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in the next.
I don't think that even.
Maybe in the next.
Electricity has to come from somewhere different.
Yeah, the reason why, because it's not feasible. Because you got to take so many hours to charge it up. Most people want.
Well, they're getting better. The Tesla
yeah.
cars are there, and I'm not trying to put a plug in there, but it is kind of, if you're listening there, Elon. Anyways, the Tesla batteries, from what I've read, and this was about 3 months ago, 4 months ago, they're much better. Well, we can see it even in our cell phones.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know about you, but for me, the way that technology has leapt forward over the past 10 years is because it's grown exponentially.
Right.
What's his name? Ray Kurzweil. He's MIT professor, also MIT graduate. I think he was like 16. More patents than any individual, I think. And anyways, he has an equation that shows how technology has grown from something that cost $70 million and was the size of this 7-Eleven and was able to put out so much or so little output, and then with the memory it had, and then every 2 years it grows exponentially. The available memory grows, what it's able to produce grows, the price shrinks, and the size shrinks. And then his lecture I saw, and then he gets to the point, he says, and now for $7, made in China, you can have one of these, and he points to that thing right there recording me with a smartphone.
I gotcha.
And the math is right on and everything. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how that stuff has grown.
There's
There's still so much that's good in this world, and I don't want to throw all of it away. And
Right.
I have such a fear when I talk to people. I think about this stuff a lot, obviously, and probably in sometimes pretty neurotically. But regardless, there's so much that's good. There's so much that can still be done that will be good. We don't have to. Boy.
Well, thank you for your time. Appreciate your comments.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening.
Tonight I put this up on there.
I apologize if this was flighty and scattered all over the place.
No.
But anybody who knows me knows.
We try to catch it real as it could be. We try not to rehearse it. If we rehearse it, it will be fake news. So if we're going to be real, we got to do it right off the spot. If I did most of my videos, there's no cutting and editing. It's just what it is. If I took the time and cutting and editing, it wouldn't be a real genuine movie or video.
And for all you haters out there, you're right. I should have had this on while people were walking past me here at 7-Eleven, and I'm sorry for that. And
well, he's maintaining a 6 feet distance.
Yeah, we have a 6 feet distance.
So as long as you maintain 6 feet distance, theoretically, you don't have to have it on.
And see, but that's another thing, though. 6 feet distance between us, but that's not 6 feet between them. So I should have been more aware of that. And that's just me not thinking, not getting used to it.
But
that's the thing about that's the thing about methadone and about Suboxone and Vivitrol. They're all great if you want to not use.
Gotcha.
But if you're being told to not use and you still want to get high, you can do whatever you want on them things.
And you're still going to use it anyway.
Yeah, man. You may be taking Suboxone and it's gotten to the point where you're not abusing it.
And they get addicted to the Suboxone.
But not even so much that is with the that certainly does happen. But is it if you've never stopped? If you stopped doing heroin because you had all these other, these other drugs that help you to curb that, but still shooting cocaine or you're snorting meth, then do you really want to get clean?
Right.
You know what I mean? I can say that when I'm in those positions, no, I really.
I agree with you. If you really want help, you need to get the proper help.
And so the numbers that the government is getting through sending people to drug courts and things like that, they're nothing they're not even a way to get a mean for things to start with, because anybody in those programs or who has recently gotten out of them and is still on probation or whatever, and who is asked, were you serious about that? Did you really want to do that? Were you committed to it? They're gonna say yes.
Right.
So your numbers are wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're gonna have some people in there who really did mean that when they said yes, and then you're gonna have some people in there who didn't mean it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So
they got to do some more research.
I don't know much about statistics, but I would say that kind of throws a wrench.
Statistics are not always accurate either. It's a hypothetical guess.
But then these things that are said,
we say
about,
hypothesis.
they're basing how they set their programs up on it. And you know, you know that probably from taking a statistics class, or basically just kind of common sense that that they can't always be.
Well, I know the mayor came out with a statistic on homelessness last year, and it wasn't even close to the real number. It was like, I think I want to say 100,000 off of the real number.
And Mayor Marty Walsh, I'll say this much about him. I'll break my own end in it, but he a long time ago I was in a program that he did a lot to make sure it stayed afloat over the years, and I was really grateful for. A lot of other people were really grateful for. And I forget what I think was he city councilman? This is back in the early 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think he was. I think you're right.
But
Something
anyways,
like that.
there was a few people there who had interest in him and thought he was, you know, was a good guy to know. Plain and simple. And then he was a good, not just to know, but he was a good guy. For anybody who was trying to participate in the recovery. And over the years, just whenever his name has come up, I've always kind of, no matter where I've been, I've checked it out, and man, I think he's got a lot of integrity, and I think he tries very hard.
Yeah.
He tries very hard, and I think oftentimes he succeeds. But the success that he gets is boy, I can't imagine sitting in the spot he's sitting in. The success that he's get is often overshadowed by the voting, the Paulus's own inability to settle, to decide and say, okay, this is what we would like to have happen. It changes so much all the time here. Maybe that's just me because I'm from New Hampshire and I think this is a little bit quick. But I think.
Well, I haven't been able. I've been trying to call Marty Walsh for a couple of years now. He hasn't returned any of my phone calls, so I look at him as a mayor that doesn't care about the city. That's my point of view.
Right. Well, if you've been trying for a couple of years, that's not good. I mean, if you've been trying for 3-4 months and you didn't return your call, I'd say, well,
no, it's been a couple of years.
I
got a couple of videos of me trying to call his office. Matter of fact, every Thursday we have a protest down on Mass in Washington Street about trying to clean up the addiction, the drugs, and all that kind of stuff on the methadone mile. Him and Charlie Baker has no response whatsoever. And
what is their tentative solution to cleaning that up?
Well, our tentative solution is for him to reopen the island that they closed. They basically closed the island and did not give any alternative suggestion to it.
Yeah.
And if they had an alternative method, like, I understand you want to close the island because of the bridge and all this stuff, but if you reopened up another program with the same amount of beds with treatment or better treatment, we can agree with that. But when you take it away totally and don't give nobody nothing in return, to me,
why do you think the city has done that?
That's a good question.
What are some of the theories?
Well, one of the theories.
I don't know any of them.
One of the theories, they said the bridge was falling apart. But I understand the bridge is falling apart.
Well,
but
we've had so much infrastructure money pumped into here from the feds. If
yeah.
that was it, we would have found a way to stick the money
exactly.
on that bridge.
So it's a battle between Quincy and Boston. Quincy doesn't want the trucks to go through their town.
Is it a NIMBY thing? Kind of a not in my backyard type
See, the governor has final say over that. So the governor could say, hey, this is what's going to happen. We're going to fix that bridge whether you like it or not. If we damage these roads in Quincy, in the process, we're going to repair those.
I don't think that Charlie Baker or any governor who wants to do what the people would like will tell any particular group that, listen, you know what, you guys need to cool it because this is what we're going to do, like it or not. I don't.
It's tough, but
say that.
But see, that's what we have all these people.
Obviously, those things do happen with politicians, but it only happens when they absolutely have no other choice. So for a governor to commit to something like that, that'd be that's a lot of integrity.
And
I'm not saying he doesn't have any integrity, but I mean it's a lot of integrity that will sit with a certain decision.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Well,
if I was
we'll see what kind of integrity he has because, you know, we're not giving up.
Yeah, certainly. Well, what is there? Has the group that you guys have you looked at how many different viable options? I mean, the bridge is one. The
bridge is one. Well, you see, it's not so much the bridge; it's open up the island itself. Because if there's no bridge, you can get shuttle boats to shuttle people back and forth.
Okay, because you know what? The only thing that the people out here on the streets, unless you're directly involved in something like that, or unless you're at town hall meetings and stuff like that, the only thing that we know out here is that it's because of the
Right.
So
And
so
unfortunately, a lot of these meetings are private meetings now because they're all on Zoom. And if it's a public meeting, then the public should have the meeting ID number.
well, if it's a private meeting, even still, I would imagine with the Freedom of Information Act, somebody could publish the
Oh
minutes
yeah,
from it.
oh yeah, you can do it definitely. It's a private meeting, but you can get the minutes and stuff off the meeting. Matter of fact, some people do listen on the meeting, but the meetings are not productive at all. But if you've been talking for the last 5 6 months and got nothing out of it, and Charlie Baker does not want to do anything about it,
It's time to move on.
Marty Walsh doesn't care about it. There's no city councilor that I heard so far has even spoken on it. As a matter of fact,
I've heard people talk on, I don't know if it was city councils, but I have heard, I think Governor Baker talk about the bridge, but never about reopening what's on the other side of the bridge.
right,
Okay,
exactly.
so, and that's why, and I would imagine that, boy, as any, and this once again, as any politician who is who we're going to say is a good politician, I'm sure he's well aware that it's not the bridge, that it's the things they're going to have tonight.
Well, the bridge is not the main concern, but it's one of the concerns.
Right.
The
But-
bridge
well,
is the
But we just in this discussion right there, we unearthed something that I didn't know, and most of the people that I know who are actually homeless and would go there
Uh-huh.
don't know.
right.
You know what I mean? That's what they always talk about, is that the bridge, they won't open that goddamn bridge, it's falling down. You should see it. The thing's awful. I'm surprised we never went off the bridge. Of course, they're
Well, they have money for it. There's money set aside for that. Every bridge out here has certain money set aside for repair and maintenance
Ways
of
and
it.
Means Committee
Yeah.
is able to
Oh yeah.
allocate money for that, I'm sure.
And they also get federal grants and all that kind of stuff too. So there's money out there. Just that they have no concern
So
on
then
doing
why
it.
do you think it's, and I mean, if you don't want to,
Why do I think they don't want to open it up? I think it's more of a political statement than anything else.
do you think the bridge, them saying, talking about the bridge and not what's really going to happen on the other side of the bridge?
Honestly,
What I'm surmising from what you say is that the bridge could be done, but what they have issue with is what's got to be done to the facility.
well, the facility they can fix. They got money for that too, though.
Right, but so then what is it over there? Because I mean, that's what you brought up, is you said that the one thing is
Well, there was nothing wrong with the facility when it was open.
okay. So what is the way the facility ran?
I think no. I think the facility at least gave them an option. It gave them treatment.
So, but what am I misunderstanding here? Because I thought, I guess I must not have heard it right. It's my fault. That you said that it's not so much the bridge as it is
Well,
how to get the place going again.
well, reopening it. If we reopen that facility, to my knowledge, it housed 1,200 people inside there.
It's a lot.
And right now, we don't have no facility that houses them at all. I think they did open a facility that holds like 200 people in it, but it's nowhere near the 1,200 that would need the actual help. And unfortunately, the numbers have already grown in the last couple of years from the time they opened that 200 person facility. So my thing is, what do we do about giving the people the help on the street that they need? Like right now,
Like right now, yeah, they're not going to open, and that's the major issue right here.
Right.
Is that, even if tomorrow they voted on it and said we're going to start on this, we're going to get the bridge done, and we're going to the bridge done so we can get all the equipment across, and we're going to get going on this.
Right.
Even if they did that, boy, a minimum of a year and a half before anybody can move back into it, I would
Right,
imagine.
exactly.
So what emergency situations can happen right now? Well, you know what? Maybe call up FEMA.
maybe we might have to do that.
Why can't your group call FEMA and say what are the parameters that a governing body would have to work
Right.
with in order to get?
Well, see, you gotta understand,
you know,
FEMA.
get money for temporary housing, because there's
I don't know if you
plenty of
noticed or
empty
not.
houses around here.
FEMA is governed by the governor, though. You know that. Charlie Baker governs
Yeah,
FEMA.
It is okay. Then who oversees?
Charlie Baker oversees FEMA.
Oh, for the federal go, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's the one. He's the liaison from FEMA to the federal government. So what he could do as a governor,
But why can't people on the ground as a grassroots?
we could do it too.
Call them up.
We could call up FEMA and say, hey, this is going on. How do we address this? Matter of fact, I'll do it myself to make sure I do the proper channels. I'll call FEMA and ask them, what do? Do they consider this a disaster? And normally,
What's the definition of disaster?
right? Does it meet the criteria?
I would just be straight up with them and not try to play lawyer games or politic games, and it will probably baffle them.
I'm gonna call FEMA. Yeah, I will.
And just say, this is why I'm asking. I don't know if this would be considered a disaster. If there's no way to fit this within those parameters, what other options are there?
I would definitely call them and find out.
Yeah.
And I like doing follow-up, so I will call FEMA and ask them. But I thank you for your time and your information and your knowledge and your wisdom.
Well, thank you. You got me thinking a lot about a lot of different stuff.
And I'll be seeing you around.
And like what I can, a long time ago I would probably have thought about it. I thought, how can I trip this governor up to doing this, some foolish thing like that?
See, well, the reason why we go to the governor, because the governor is the highest government official in the state.
Yeah.
Now, once you take it to him, if he really wants to help you, he could take it to the federal level. Like, don't get me wrong, the American people can do it too. The citizens
Which is what I think.
We might have to do that.
Well, I think if the motivation isn't spite, isn't saying, okay, I'm going over his head.
Mm-hmm.
If the motivation is saying, well, you know what, the local government right now is really, really stressed out, and I could make this call and at least find out
what's going on, yeah.
And why not do something such as that, and also maybe to do us, in order to just present a professional courtesy, leave a message in his office. And say,
we've been doing that already. Trust me.
Well, then, yeah, that's great.
We did that. We left emails, everything. You name it.
Well, I mean, stating the reasons why.
Oh yeah, he knows. We've been coming to his house every Sunday. So he knows about all that. He's well aware of that part.
You trust it?
Cool. Can he?
You think he trusts it when you're telling him motivation is because you want to help?
I don't believe that he wants to help.
Because I would.
Honestly.
Okay.
I don't believe.
Well, if somebody was showing up at my house on Sundays, I don't know if I would. I understand.
Well,
you guys are further along than I.
Put it this way. We went stage by stage by stage till we got to that level.
So
we just decided to wake up one morning and say we're going to Charlie Baker's house.
Right. No, yeah, you followed the chain.
Before they hit the streets, they've been having meetings and everything.
So then you don't believe at all.
I don't believe he's going to do it. He doesn't want.
And you don't believe that he.
I have no faith in that guy.
You don't believe that he thinks you guys' motivation is to help the state.
Trust me, he knows exactly what we want. We made it clear.
Right.
He just doesn't want to do anything about it. So basically, he doesn't want. He doesn't care. Doesn't care. And but that's politics. That's definitely. How you doing, man? That's definitely politics in the city.
The art of compromise.
Yeah, but I don't keep up your time. I see you around, buddy. I see you.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm keeping you too. It's not often I get to get out.
You got to vent out, no?
Well, I know I should learn a little bit more about local things like this.
No, next time I see you, because I'm everywhere. I'm all, people see me Roxbury, Dorchester.
What's the for?
This is listening to. Right now. I'm listening to Boston Police, but sometimes I listen to EMS.
Which is a scanner.
Yeah, well, it's a yeah. I call it a scanner.
Is it a two-way?
It's a two-way. It's a two-way, but we'll call it a scanner for now.
Yeah.
But I listen to Boston Police, EMS, Fire Department, Transit.
The other night, last night actually.
At
like.
Don't tell me about.
2 in the morning. I was out here, and a guy pulled over in a Beamer. He got out and he looked. We were walking towards us. I thought it was a Boston cop. I didn't see him get out of the car. I just saw him walking towards it. Yeah. And he came over and he was. I looked down to see if it was a security guard or if he was because a lot of times security guards won't have a sidearm. He had a sidearm and everything. So I'm thinking, oh, it's a Boston cop. And I'm looking at the emblems on him, and it doesn't. It's not the Massachusetts law. And I don't know what it was, but I think he was some kind of security. He walked over and he says, we were all standing on the sidewalk in front of a house over there or an apartment building. And it wasn't we all, actually. It was me and another guy was sitting there. Well, he was getting things out of his Jeep after coming back from work.
Right.
And then there was a couple other guys standing on the porch of the house that lived there who had nothing to do with us, and they weren't doing anything. I was smoking cigarettes. And he says, sorry to disappoint you fellas, but unfortunately I'm going to ask you not to hang around here. Oh, nobody was hanging around.
Was he driving a white and black vehicle?
Driving a BMW. I watched him get back over.
Oh, I don't know.
And it had like a vanity plate on it. I didn't even think it was his personal vehicle. Are there security companies getting? Because I know security here, like the landlords are so broke.
Well,
the lights are, look at the alleys. Look at the lights in the alleys.
I know. I talk about the lightings out here. Even the light out here is dark.
Yeah,
City of Boston's cheap.
No, it's because the landlords are unable to pay their mortgage and their taxes right now because so many college kids did not return.
I know.
And nobody is renting. They won't.
That's a major problem. Major.
Well, where does after a city incorporates, where does it get its money from?
That's one of my videos I'm going to be doing next. So a lot of these vacancies. I don't know if you know the one in the back of Drive over here. He got about 5 vacancies, and literally he can't get nobody to move in.
He won't. Yes, they can. They won't. You know what? When COVID first, we come back out in the streets when everything opened up again. Okay. At that time, I was moving out of, for the winter, I rented a couch, right? Couch. And I was moving out of there, and I had a relative who said, if you can find a place, this is how much money I can offer you.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
it would have been enough. What's up, buddy? Give me 1 second. It would have been enough to
You know.
it would have been enough to get in
Mhm.
and for first month's rent,
Right.
security deposit. It was your first, last, and security. And then all of a sudden they came with this COVID cleaning
Oh yeah.
deposit, and I believed that.
Yeah. Mhm.
But then I said, okay, well, I could probably come up with some of that. And a family member offered, didn't have all the money, but said, I could put so much in escrow and you could have it when it's all there.
Ew.
Or if he moves out, it's the, you know what I mean? But the
Right.
money will be there, and the escrow will be in your name. It's a win situation. You're not going to lose, okay? And that means even if I left, the family member would still have to do it because it's just, you know, and
Yeah.
the family member is...
Well, see, usually they want like a lease though. They want to. They want.
I would have signed a lease also. That's
Yeah.
not See,
the way they do it is kinda strict.
They wanted a security deposit for cleaning afterwards.
Oh,
for the
yeah.
COVID stuff. And I understand that because of the COVID thing. But the thing is that then even when I came up with an option to put the money there, not all at once, but over time, maybe over a month and a half, it would have been there, and I would have been giving them a first month's rent, a security deposit,
Right.
and a last month's rent also. So
Gotcha,
they
yeah.
have 3 months protection, you know, and they
Yeah.
wouldn't do it. And I'm going to tell you where I think, and what some other people who, well, it doesn't matter who, but because they know me as being a homeless person.
Well, usually a lot of places, I don't know if it's legal, they want to have proof of income. Then some of them do like a credit
They
check.
didn't even, no,
They do a lot of weird
they
stuff.
didn't even get to that point. In credit check, I don't have great credit, but I have credit well enough to get an apartment.
See, you know what? You can always find out why they denied you too.
I could, well, yeah, if they had actually taken the time to fill the paperwork out.
They wouldn't let you fill paperwork out.
When I first went in there, I verbally, actually I called, and I told them my name, and I told them my date of birth, and I told them my social security number, and made an appointment to come in and actually do some formal.
Well, next time I see you, right?
Yep.
Try to get all that information of the housing management company or whoever they are.
There's
And
only 3 of them here, and it's one of the bigger ones.
is the one?
Actually, I mean,
Is it the one over here on Park Drive? No. Well, next time.
yes, actually, there is an office there. Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
couple of
I think I know what you're talking about. But know what? Get all the information. I'll see if I can find out. I'll ask them.
Super, yeah.
And tell me exactly what the information you gave them and everything.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
Yeah, I'll find out. I'll ask a simple question. If they don't want to answer, then obviously they're hiding something. But
Either that or they just won't call you back, something shit like that.
yeah,
you know?
but those people.
But there are other people out here that well, there was another person who actually owns some very, very luxurious buildings on Boylston. Ones with pools on roofs and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And when this happened, this person actually offered me, said, listen, if you have a social security card, I will get you into one of those apartments up there. And I said, really? He said, oh, I can't pay for it. I said, that's okay. I will get you to sign a lease, and you'll remember what this is about. You remember when they were saying that they were going to just give people a bunch of slack on the lease things?
Right.
And I'm sure every property owner thought that, okay, that's going to fall on the bank then. In order to, we're not going to have to pay our mortgage. We're going to be, you know what I mean? It's going to fall on the bank, and somehow we can benefit from this. The more people that you would have in a building, then you could call it a loss at the end of the day.
Right.
Okay. And within a week or so, I had gotten a social security card, my social security card. And was all ready to, I said, yeah, I'll sign the lease, let's do this, you know, I would love to be inside.
Yep.
And he said, and I told him that, you know, I wasn't going to be able to pay. He says, don't worry about it. He says, and he told me, he says, you'll be in there for at least 8 or 9 months before the sheriff's come and get you out.
Wow.
So the property owners knew this, and there was quite a few of them doing it. And then they came out that, they weren't that wasn't going to happen, that the landlord's going to be responsible.
Yeah,
for
it's
their
a lot.
mortgage, no matter what.
It's
And
so
you know what
much
he says
going
to
on
me?
now.
And,
Yeah.
and then he says to me, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't think I could do that. So, I mean, why is it that when I was just a homeless nobody, and you know what I mean, and you had something to make off from it, you were willing to do something like that at my expense?
Yeah, I know. One day when I see you,
I would still be willing to do something like that, but
Right.
it's still on my credit. But it really makes me realize what a shitbag somebody is if.
You know what? We gotta find out. You know, we gotta ask the right questions. Next time I see you, I'll be around this area. Next time I see you, I'll spend more time with you.
Pull up, man, and I'll let you go in. I'm sorry.
Good talking to you,
I'm
buddy.
holding you hostage.
No, I like talking to people.
Thank you.
All right, I'll see you around. Take care, buddy. And once again, guys, that's Jesse. He's been in this neighborhood for a while. I'm not too sure how long he's been in this area, but he's been here in the last maybe 4 years, maybe longer. I'm not too sure. I just want to give you a little view of what goes on in the city. And like I said, I'm gonna try to do. I try to do more videos now. Um, Somebody was talking to me and said I'm not doing enough videos. So, and then somebody commented on the videos that I do, and they say they like I have a lot of content. Well, I don't know if I have a lot of content. Maybe it's not enough content, but I'm kind of new at this, so I'm kind of shy at the same time. So I'm trying to get better at it. Maybe as time goes on, I will get a little better. Who knows? I did a video on this building before. This is on wow, this is Queensberry Street. So this whole area here, all the way down, been bought by some investors. Somebody told me it's a group of investors, and I'm not too sure exactly what they're going to do with those buildings over there. But rumor had it that they were going to tear them all down and make a multi complex up there, like a high rise. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I did a video on that, just that area alone. That's about it, guys. I just wanted to share this information with you guys. These trees, this is a pretty big tree here. Alright, I'm not going to keep this video too long. I already made it long enough. It's probably going to be 2 parts because of the way it's being recorded. But until next time, guys.